I think this test is gonna make people angry. Hi, I'm Jess, and this is my water bottle comparison video. I have been preparing this video for 8 weeks now. If you came to the channel before, you may have seen my first impressions of all of these very popular water bottles. But today, we are finally done all of our tests. We have compared them, we've got a chart, and you can now see which one is at the top. Now, full disclosure here, I actually have no idea which one is the top because we have done different categories and we have placed them in different situations. I've used them on a daily basis. I've used them to teach at my bar studio. I have used them on road trips, filling them up at fast food restaurants, filling up water. So I have really put these to the test. I've even brought them into the sauna, which ones are appropriate for that. Hot water in the ones that can hold hot water. So I really have put them to the test, and some of them have even been a little well loved. There's some scuff marks on the sides of, let's say, this one here, and a few of the others as well. So definitely I've put them to the test, and Ryan today is going to be surprising me with which one ranks in each order. Now, right off the bat, I'm gonna say as well that all of these have slightly different purposes. Some of them you could just say your basic cold water bottle, but other ones like the tumbler here, and this is a tumbler as well. These ones are gonna have slightly different purposes, and you have to keep in mind that we've got two that are very different sizes comparing to the rest of them. So we go from sort of a small water bottle to a large tumbler because I wanted to cover all of the different styles. This video is not sponsored. If you do want to support me, you can always shop with my link at Lululemon. But you can also shop these bottles and tumblers from my links as well, coming from different websites. So thank you so much for your support. And I also want to say, last little caveat here, I think all of these water bottles are great. I think that they all serve a purpose. I would still say that if you have any of these in your collection, don't throw it out, don't give it away. It should still be good. But this ranking that we have for you is gonna help you determine if you have not purchased one yet, if you're looking to purchase a second one, if you're looking to purchase one for a different purpose. Let's say you have a hot and cold water bottle, but you really want the Stanley tumbler for road trips. You know, this might be a different case. But if you want to download the spreadsheet that we have determined here, I gave a score to every bottle, and if there was a tie, then they got that same number. Now we're gonna go into all of the different tests we have filmed over the last 2 months, and we're gonna rank the water bottles. So which one do you think? Write it in the comments now and tell me which one do you think's the best. And then at the end of the video, we'll see if you were right.
Today is day 1 of our experiments with all of these water bottles. We are going to do cold water testing. So, how long does cold water last in these bottles? And do they live up to their own claims? Some of them have claims, some of them don't. So, let's give it a test.
Is it?
I mean, it's still cold. It's not lukewarm. I think on a hot day, that'd be very refreshing.
We just put boiling hot water to emulate tea into all of these water bottles, and if you told me there was boiling hot water in here, I don't think I'd believe you. Oh, but the lid on the swell is hot. It's hot around the top here, so grabbing right here, ow, like it's a little hot. Metal ring at the top, hot. This is very warm. This is fine, so grab from the bottom, you'll be fine. This, perfect. But then touching here is warm, metal is hot. Wow, this not hot at all. This is not very hot, but it's not filled to the top. But this one has the handle. So like, this wins. That would be a very enjoyable tea, and I definitely see steam, and if you were to put boiling water into your Stanley and we're drinking it now, it's amazing. Okay, here we go. That would make an enjoyable tea. It's not like, I almost want to say the other one's hotter. I feel it warm in my mouth. I'd still drink that as tea. Here we go. This was not great. If a restaurant served this to me, I'd be like, oh, they don't know how to make tea. Okay, here we go. Same. I'm nervous. Noticeably hotter. It's just okay. Taste-wise, the best tasting one was probably this one and this one. I'd probably put this one here, this one here. I mean, these are kind of tied at the bottom. So we have been taking a really long time to complete this review. And that is because sometimes it's taking a whole day to do these tests, the cold water, the hot water, and we have to be able to test all of these water bottles' abilities over the course of a day or hours. And, you know, we're busy people, busy lives. So yesterday we thought we had the time and we were tracking and showing the ice cubes melting in the process. And now it's time to test the water bottles for how long they can keep an ice cube. We're gonna see how long the ice stays like ice and until it becomes water. So the only one that really has a promise is the Stanley tumbler, but we're gonna see if they hold true. I've got high hopes. All right, here we go. Guess we'll see what happens. I don't know. I have a strong feeling that YETI's gonna be good, and maybe a Walla, and Swell. Those are my guesses. But I think Stanley might do the best. But we forgot that we signed up to go to a Broadway show in the evening, which meant we forgot to check when we got home, and by the time it was this morning, every bottle is melted. So here's take two. Wish us luck. Well, the bottles are filled now, and we're gonna come back in a couple hours to see how the ice is melting. I'm also just gonna leave this bowl full of ice to give us any kind of indication of how the cubes might be doing on the inside of those. Well, it's been 2 hours, and this is the ice that was just in a bowl. Almost completely water. Let's see how the bottles did. Starting with the tumbler from Lululemon. 2 pieces of ice, but it's quite a lot of water. Let's try Stanley. It's looking good. Oh la la! Looks pretty good, actually. We'll see you in a couple of hours. It has been 4 hours, but I also have to go teach a couple classes at Bar 3, so let's take a look, and then Ryan's gonna check and do the next update while I'm away. But here we go. This is the YETI. Whoa, lots of water in there. Wish us luck.
As Jess said, she has to teach class, but this experiment continues on. So let's just check a couple of them. Okay, that feels like the ice cubes are smaller. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to show you. Whoa. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to sort these by the size of the ice cubes left. I think that is the right way to do this. Lululemon tumbler has none. Stanley, I think in the time it took me to set this up, has melted. Owala, very tiny, just at the top there. Hydro Flask, a little bit bigger. YETI, maybe a little bit bigger. It's close between these two, Hydro Flask and YETI. Then we have Lululemon Back to Life Sport Bottle, pretty good in there. But then the hot and cold water bottle, very, very close to nothing melted at all. But this one, the Swell, who knew it would do so well? I will say a trend I'm noticing is the 4 worst out of this all have straws. These are the ones with straws. These are the ones doing the worst down here. Very interesting. We're back 30 minutes later to check on them again because it felt like some of them were getting really close to being just water. So these 3 are out. No ice. Let's do the sound check and see which ones I actually need to open up. Oh, still a little ice in there. The hydro flask. Teeny tiny pieces in there, okay? Oh, Yeti is done. Again, tiny pieces. The Lululemon Back to Life Sport Bottle. Some bigger pieces in the hot and cold water bottle, but they're getting real close to done. Wow. And the swell almost looks exactly the same. Okay, I'm just gonna show you these top 2 because they are the best looking. There's the hot and cold water bottle, teeny tiny ice cubes compared to swell. Oh my goodness, well done, swell.
All right, folks, I am back from class and I'm already in PJs because it's time for the night to end. Ryan told me that while I was away, these were the only 2 water bottles that still had ice cubes in them. I am shocked because this one did not perform well when it came to keeping things cold. But somehow it's kept it. Now I will also say that these 2 are the smallest, so maybe it has something to do with the others being larger. Let's just give it a shake test if we hear ice cubes or not. You ready? No ice cubes! It is done. But I'm impressed that it was still good in the last test. Good job, Ryan. We never made it to this part last time. Here's a moment of truth. Swell. Are you ready? It still has 2 ice cubes! You can see them in there! Swell's the winner. This is the splash leak proof test. So I'm gonna shake all of these bottles upside down and see what happens. First up.
So, other than the hot water, cold water, and ice test, I ranked these bottles, giving them scores based on different categories. So one of the categories was handle. How easy is it to hold this water bottle? So the Stanley, for example, has this really great handle, and a lot of people will complain that the Stanley is so huge at the 40-ounce size that it's so awkward to hold. But I'm going to tell you that I did not put this at the bottom of the list because this handle is actually very helpful. I find it very sturdy, and with the straw, it makes it easy to drink. However, some of the other handles, for example, in the Swell bottle, it does not have anything to hold it. So you have to hold it right here, and that just kind of makes it a little awkward sometimes, as well as this lid is metal, so it can get hot. So just something to keep in mind. Now, other bottles that have great handles, Lululemon, I think this is a really great size for my fingers. It doesn't hurt my fingers. Whereas something like this with the Hydro Flask, it's so small. So unless you have an ability to like clip this onto something, personally, this is not really going to function as a handle, and then you're left to hold the bottle. All of these are, I believe, double wall, like vacuum sealed, so they're insulated and they're not gonna like hurt you if it's too hot. But still, this handle, it's not very good. This handle, on the other hand, I think this is great. My only issue is that it doesn't kind of pop open. You have to be threading it off like a regular water bottle. Owala as well has a very small handle, good handle as well. No handle and kind of thick, so a little awkward. That's the handle test. Again, no sort of test, it's all personal preference, but for me, I ranked them because of that. Next up, we talked about how heavy they are. Now, when they're filled with water, that's gonna make a difference, but just feeling them right here, right now, I will tell you that the Stanley, of course, it's the largest at 40 ounces. It's gonna be the heaviest, but the handle here on this YETI is so heavy, I honestly feel like it's heavier in the moment right now than the Stanley. Other than that, it's not really significant, the difference of heaviness. And that's why the handles are going to come into play. Because if it does feel a little heavy, it's nice to have a good handle. And some of them can be a little awkward. So that's just something to think about. Heavier bottles, middle of the road, not too heavy. She's beauty and she's grace. Okay, so we tested the water bottles. We put them to the test. We put them in a beauty pageant. No, honestly, not the number one thing. How beautiful is a bottle? But there are some really, it's not hard to say that this is more beautifully crafted than something that is just one plain color. And I think that Lululemon does a decent job as well. I think that they have some nice colors. They've got really cool patterns going on right now. Owala does a really cool job with colors. I think this one in particular is very fun, but there are lots of other ones, and they do collabs with other companies. So they have been doing collabs. I saw like a Star Wars collab, a Friends, the TV show collab. When you're getting into your basics, I think YETI and Hydro Flask are kind of more basic, but I also think for beauty-wise, Stanley, even though it's basic, I think that they do a really nice color scheme. There's lots of great colors. I just think that this lid is really pretty, and all of these are just kind of black stainless steel, and this goes with more neutrals. There's the beauty test, my own personal preference. Take it just, with a grain of salt. This leak test we did, I'm gonna tell you that they all passed. These will not leak, except for one that is notorious for only being splash proof and not leak proof. This Stanley tumbler is not gonna hold water in your bag and keep your stuff dry. Because if you want something you can throw in your gym bag, absolutely do not. It will spill. Even when it's closed, it will leak. This is the only loser in this competition. Cup holder test. Now, everyone's cars are different, and you may not even have a car, but there's also backpacks and little sleeves inside of Lululemon bags, like the Clean Lines tote bag has a really nice water bottle sleeve, but not all of these are going to work for that. Of course, you can adjust and buy something that's going to be smaller if, let's say, you buy a YETI that is too thick for it. But for me and all of these water bottles, I ranked them in how able they are to fit in a car or in the pockets of a backpack or something. So again, up to personal sizing, but I would say that's my ranking. And again, check out the chart. One thing to keep in mind, Owala is a standout in the wrong way. It does not allow you to use perishable liquids in here. So if you want to put iced coffee, that's a no-go. It is not made to use for anything but water. Other things to keep in mind, how easy are they to drink from? They all have different methods of drinking. For example, like a sip or a straw, and different styles in the same brand may behave differently. So this is the Hydro Flask, and we have the straw here, but there are different versions. I purchased a variety, and I also purchased the ones that I could get a hold of because some of them were sold out. So keep that in mind as well. That might change your experience with the bottle. Other things to keep in mind, how wide is the opening? So the swell is a little wide on this one, and it makes it harder to drink, to be honest, because if it's too wide, then you have to be very careful, like you're sipping from a teacup or a coffee mug. And other straws are a little bit thicker. The YETI acts just like the chug cap, acts just like a plastic water bottle, so I think that one's pretty great. The straw on the Stanley, I found it actually really easy to drink from. The one I struggled to drink from was the Owala, because it has this cool concept, but in practice, it's got two openings. The wider opening when you drink it, for me, is much wider than I'm used to on the Lululemon Back to Life Sport bottle. So I took a drink from this, and I didn't know what to do. I was trying to drink from the straw, the smaller hole, but the bigger hole just kind of fell all over my face while I was trying to do it. So I needed to practice how to drink this water bottle. But if you can master choosing the straw, or if you're going to drink from the larger opening, don't throw it back, that's up to you. But for me, this one was not the easiest to drink from, even though the design concept is really cool. I just personally think that it wasn't the best one. Do I still teach with this water bottle? Absolutely. I think it's, got lots of other great attributes, but It took me a while to get used to the straw. I'll just say that. Something to keep in mind with cleaning with all of these, if you have a dishwasher or if you don't, depending on the different shape and size, it might be easier to clean than the other. Now, there are a few that are hand wash only. This beauty, it's beautiful, but you have to hand wash it. You cannot put this in the dishwasher. So again, look at the chart if you want to know the full ranking and how they stood up to being easy to clean. And the Lululemon water bottles are hand wash only as well. This is something to keep in mind. A big criticism of the Lululemon water bottle that I have heard from other people is that the tiny small part of the lid is really hard to clean. Now, Lululemon's website has detailed information on how to clean it. For me, life hack, to get the little tiny plastic rubber loop out of there to clean underneath it, I used a chopstick. And now this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Ryan is going to surprise me by ranking all of these bottles based on all of our tests. I don't know which one's the winner. And you're gonna find out same time as me. So, Ryan, are you ready?
I think so.
Here we go. My husband is going to place each water bottle in front of me, ranking them from worst to best based on our calculations. Let's go.
Number 8 with 36 points.
Oh, it's gonna be... This is the Lululemon tumbler, and I'm not surprised. I also think in frequency, I probably don't use this one as much as I do the others. Things that I would want it to improve would be to have a handle of some sort. But overall, you know, it's cute. At least it's cute. And it's leak proof. I'm impressed that this one does not leak.
That was the worst in 6 categories, including the cold water, hot water, and iced.
Yikes.
Number 7 with 61 points.
No! 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 Stanley is in 7th place, but it's so pretty and it's easy to drink and it holds a lot of water and the handle is very useful and it goes in the car. Practically speaking, I can't throw it in my bag and take it to class full of water. 7th place.
It's also very heavy. It is the only one that leaked, and it did almost the worst on the ice test.
Even though it brags about its ice capabilities.
Number 6 with 62 points, so only 1 point ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm so surprised, except, you know, people think this is cute, and I think it's cute. But the biggest thing is you can't put anything but water in here. I don't know. It's cute, and it keeps water cold, but it's not at the top, clearly.
You also didn't like how to drink out of it, and you didn't think it was good for teaching because of that.
It is true. It's a little awkward to do the sip straw, and this hole I think is too big, but that's just a me problem, I guess.
Number 5 with 75 points.
Okay, this one I'm not surprised by. I think personally, I prefer the Owala to the Hydro Flask. Like if we weren't doing our point system, I would choose the Owala more than I would choose the Hydro Flask. But if you're thinking of practicality, I guess I can see why this one got a little bit higher. But like this is awkward to hold, and the straw, not so great. Maybe if we got a different lid, I would have a way different story with this.
It's also pretty lightweight, and we're pretty sure it will fit in a cup holder, so
Yes.
bringing it with you is nice.
Yes, that's true. This is definitely small enough for most cup holders and like pockets and bags.
Tied for 3rd place with 78 points.
Oh my God. I'm in shock. No! No! I thought this was going to be number 1. Not going to lie, thought it was going to be 1 or 2. I'm shocked because this one did not do well with a lot of the temperature testing, but practically speaking and how cute it is, I guess those points really added up. And like how easy it is to drink, and it's got like the lock function, and like this is pretty great. I'm in shock though that they're tied because this one's way better with temperature. Like I think this one outperformed everybody.
So it is very heavy. It is awkward. It won't fit in a cup holder.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
And it was middle of the road on the ice test, which means that it got down a little bit because of that. But there were some things like the cold water test where
Yes.
it was at the top.
You like cold water? Yeti's got your back.
And now,
No.
with 84 points,
I'm so scared. No!
they are tied for first.
No! No. Okay. I think that this is my favorite. I'm gonna say that the Back to Life Sport Bottle, I'm just obsessed with this lid. I think that this is such a great size to drink from. I can also attest to using this when I was teaching hot yoga, and it would keep the water cold. I love this handle, again, that it goes with the lid. It fits inside of pockets. So practical, so beautiful as well. And it's Lululemon. I mean, come on, I love Lululemon. But I'm shocked that this one tied. But I do remember this did well for temperatures. And I kind of feel like Swell is kind of like a thermos. Like they do really well with temperature. This gets hot in a sauna or hot yoga, so be careful. Overall, it's just so stunning. So I can also see why that made it to the top. But I'm shocked that they're tied for first. I am shocked. And if I were to choose between the two, I'm probably going to choose this one, Lululemon. But if you're looking for something really beautiful that is still practically going to keep your water cold, hot, or iced, wow.